Okay, so something you've shared with me a couple of sessions in a row now is being, this overwhelming feeling or this like really strong craving, or like we were just mentioning with work, this kind of just feeling like you were going to bubble up with this kind of emotion and frustration.
Right.
And so I think there is something that you and I, kind of a technique we can practice in here and then that you can take out into the rest of your week that can kind of help with those kinds of experiences. And this is an exercise that's easy, it's simple, and it's also nice because you can do it without anyone even realizing that you're doing something. So it's perfect for kind of in the moment stress or like strong emotions or experiences.
Okay.
And basically what it does is it brings you more into the present and out of this kind of autopilot kind of pattern of responding like we've talked about before. And so it just allows you to be more intentional about how you act. So kind of thinking through before you act.
All right.
So this technique, there's an acronym to help make it easier to remember, and it's SOBER, which is kind of fitting for what we're working on together.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to kind of walk through the steps, and then I think you and I can practice it with the experience at work you were just talking to me about.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so the first letter is S. So that stands for stop. So it's basically just the first step to know that in this moment, I need to use this technique. I'm going to stop what I'm doing. Okay, and the second one is to observe. So this is really the step where you start to notice what's going on around you and then move that awareness to also inside your body. So notice what your body feels like. Is your body tense? Does it feel relaxed? Does it feel nervous? How's your heart rate, your breath, your
temperature of things?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And then also, what are you feeling? What are your emotions in the moment? Are you feeling really angry or sad or confused or frustrated or embarrassed? So that's the O. And then the B is taking that attention even kind of deeper. And kind of fine-tuning your attention. So moving it from your whole body and your surroundings to your breath. So you're just going to notice your breath for a few cycles, just where it is that you notice it most. You don't have to try to change it, but just noticing where you feel your breath.
So B is breath.
B is breath.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then E is expand. So after you've kind of taken the moment with B, with your breath, and notice that, then you expand the attention back out. So you notice again how your body feels now, then how you're feeling emotionally, and then what's going on in your environment.
Okay.
And then after you've done all four of those, SOBE, then you move to R, which is to respond instead of reacting. So we built these steps in for you to kind of pause and to potentially also calm yourself and then decide how you want to respond in the situation.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So let's practice now. So let's apply this to your situation at work that you mentioned. So you were mentioning that in the past month you've taken on someone else's job who, got fired. So you're basically doing the work of two people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at work, one of your coworkers, or was it your boss?
It was my boss.
Your boss.
Yeah.
Kind of like reprimanded you for missing one small piece of that other person's job.
Right.
And you felt
Pissed off. Like, I'm doing two jobs. That's not fair. Like, I'm only getting one salary, and now it's two jobs put on my shoulders, and I'm doing them both pretty well. And I missed one aspect of one small part of a job that's not even mine.
yeah. And I can.
I don't know. It's not fair. I got pissed off.
So you got angry. You feel frustrated. You feel taken advantage of. And I can tell, kind of in your face right now, you're feeling it. It's like this hot, strong emotion.
Yeah.
So we're gonna apply it to that.
All right.
So I want you to imagine yourself in the work situation, just to practice it in there. So you will have by now stopped, which is the first step.
Okay.
The next step is to observe. So imagine yourself in that situation. Try to feel what you're feeling, and that kind of describe for me what you see going on at work. Like, what's your environment like?
It's busy. It's a super busy office, so there's a lot of keyboards clacking, mouses are clicking, phones are ringing. People are always kind of buzzing around and talking about projects. It's noisy
Okay.
and a lot of moving parts.
Okay.
So it's just a busy environment, very distracting.
Yeah. So move that inward, move the attention inward. What are you noticing about how your body feels?
My palms are kind of sweaty. My heart, I can feel my heart beating in my chest. I feel a little anxious. I feel like upset for having to do 2 jobs. So this is almost like a resentment
How do you know that you feel upset? Like where do you feel that?
in my chest.
Your
It's a
chest.
tightness.
Your chest
I
feels
just
tight.
feel like I'm like locked up all day. Like I carry it in my neck and my shoulders.
Feels
It
clenched.
terrible. Yeah, like all the time. Yeah.
Okay, and then tell me about you kind of started into some of the emotions you're feeling. So tell me again, what are the emotions you're feeling?
Anger. I don't know, I feel underappreciated. So there's a little sadness there, I guess. But I'm mostly upset. I'm mostly pissed off that I got some reprimand over a small piece of a job that I'm doing too, which is already unfair, pretty well. So I feel undervalued.
Okay, yeah. So you notice that you're feeling that.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I want you to just focus on your breath for a few cycles. You don't have to change it, just notice where you're feeling your breath, what your breath is like. Is it deep? Is it shallow? Do you feel it in your chest?
In that moment or now?
In that moment.
In that moment?
And kind of now since you're feeling it.
Sure. Well, it was, my chest felt really tight. Just taking a full breath it's just really quick.
So it's
breaths.
shallow and
Yeah,
fast.
yeah.
Okay.
After you stop and you focus on it, you kind of naturally breathe a little deeper, and it feels good.
Yeah. Okay.
Chest is loosening up a little bit. I kind of unclench my fists most of the day.
Okay.
I feel okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So after you do that for a few rounds, now let's bring your attention back out. So back to the body, back to the emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So after you've paused a little bit and noticed your breath, how do you think your body has changed? How you feel?
Well, I've been more. It feels nice to be more thoughtful about it rather than just reacting. Because if anybody would say anything I didn't like, I would just go off. Because I felt like I was already carrying around all this stress on my shoulders, like feels like weights. And then someone asks me to do something, and it just piles it on, and I just freak out.
So you feel a bit of a release.
Yeah. I feel like I'm carrying less weight.
Okay. How about your body physically? Does it feel?
It feels somewhat the same. I feel like my hands aren't as sweaty, and it's easier to breathe, so that's nice.
Feel maybe a little bit less tense, a little bit easier to
I
breathe.
think a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you would also expand it to your environment too. So you would notice again what's going on in your office or whatever situation you're in. And then the last step is to respond. So how do you think you might respond after doing that?
Well, I think back as to why I'm here. Like, I make good money. I want to get promoted. I work hard there, and I have a good relationship with my bosses for the most part. I think it'd be silly to react strongly over one small thing. But if I take some time and think about it, maybe, I won't blow my job opportunity,